height just fire over the top than it normally does for a quarterback.
And it's caught at the yard line. And that's one of his advantages, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that...
Looking for Green. Beckham, and it's an enter. And they will take over at the... After the interception, here's Palmer. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They were
ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. Things out. And they're going to go soft on the corners. On third down, Johnson shreds the tackle. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. Now Palmer to the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down.
Well, there's the first time in this game that Carson Palmer finds Larry Fitzgerald. Likely won't be the last, but how about the way these two have helped each other's careers?
Yeah, they really have. It's hard to believe with Fitzgerald, well, really both of these guys, how long they've been in the league now. But Fitzgerald, gosh, third overall pick back in 04.
Yeah, how about that? Remember, Carson Palmer, a former Heisman Trophy winner, he's finally found a real home in Arizona.
And the damage that David Johnson did in Week 12 was mainly through the air. 58 on the ground, but 103 receiving yards. He also scored a receiving touchdown.
And his versatility should surprise no one. Maybe the level he's playing is opened up some eyes, but he came out of Northern Iowa, went there as a wide receiver before becoming a running back, maintained both of those skills in a big way, and now he's the #1 threat on offense for the Arizona Cardinals.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Have you talked with your friends who are in the fantasy leagues? I keep hearing David Johnson's name is coming up in a big way.
Boy, he was a steal third-rounder out of Northern Iowa, and I think last year started as a 4th-string back, didn't he?
He certainly did, but boy, he produces the year 1 honor. Remember, can run it, he can catch it. He was a wide receiver at Northern Iowa before he became a running back, and also has great kick return ability. Ran 1 back for a touchdown in 2015.
It's a pickup of 14 there, and it's good enough for an Arizona first. Andre Ellington, his first carry, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Again, they run with Ellington, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that?
See something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. From midfield now, here's Palmer. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, 49 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. We know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's the Cardinals defense as they head out to set up shop.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction, but maybe another pick.
Who's Big Mo? He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down. Wentz to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The veteran Brent Selleck, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Sproles calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision.
After this.
Just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care where we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there.
Toss the Browns.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are indeed at the beautiful state-of-the-art U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. Coleman has it here right side. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell, 33 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Well, whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
Now the third-year man from Alabama State, Isaiah Crowell. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. On second down, Griffin, and it's incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target, and it's third down. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. On third down, Griffin eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Robinson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Fourth down. Here's RG3. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. On third down, Bradford into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down. On second down, here's Griffin. Looking for Barnage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. Automatic first down.
Asiata here on the ground. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. And again, it's Asiata on the ground. They find some open field here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave him good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put...
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And this belongs to the Vikings.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of him, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Third and long for Bradford. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 88 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, and even better run for big yardage.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
So the script flips back over to the Cleveland Browns. They come out on offense, and an interesting stat for them coming out of Week 12. Duke Johnson threw a pass in that game. Their tailback, he became the 7th player for the Browns this season to throw a pass.
Can you name the other 6?
I know you can.
Well, let's go ahead and do it together, right? Robert Griffin III.
Josh McCown. Terrell Pryor.
Kevin Hogan.
Charlie
Whitehurst.
Who we missing?
Cody Kessler. And Duke Johnson is the only one who has not completed a pass out of all 7. So that means Mr. Duke Johnson has no quarterback rating.
And Charles, the second time today that he has hit pay dirt.
And once you score the first one, there is that natural tendency, and there's also that eagerness to get back there again. Oh, he smells it. This guy smelled the end zone, and twice he's gotten there.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Minnesota getting ready to go again on offense. They're 6-5 right now, Charles. No Stephon Diggs. We've chronicled AP maybe coming back earlier than people have anticipated, but we'll see how this offense goes down the stretch because it's been up and down.
The problems with the offensive line have extended to everywhere else on the team because they can't run the ball with the same authority. Trying to pass protect for Sam Bradford has been a little bit difficult. You mentioned Stephon Diggs not being out there. We thought Laquan Treadwell would step in for him, the rookie #1 pick. Instead, it's been Cordero Patterson they've been trying to get involved in the offense. They've got to find an identity again trying to move the ball.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And a nice game. 21 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. First down, Bradford. Over the middle here to Rudolph. 23 yards on the play. Now, Rudolph, he's a guy, Charles, we haven't discussed a whole lot this year, but he's really a reliable tight end on Thanksgiving. He led the way for the Vikings. 9 catches, 64 yards.
Sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle, but he does have a Pro Bowl on his resume. He can block. He can get downfield and catch the balls. We saw on Thanksgiving Day what he had 9 catches in that game. So we know he can maneuver it downfield. He just needs more attention.
For the year, he's almost at 500 yards, also 5 touchdowns for Rudolph. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, It's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now, ball on the 5. Here's McKinnon, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They're going to run. It's McKinnon. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Browns are able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized, you know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you, you know. If people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently. Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
And that one results in 35 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. A screen complete to Crowell. And able to get this one across the 45. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. But gutsy call there. Yates at the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They're already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Bradford. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's Asiata. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good...
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. 4th down, Bradford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Joe Schobert, the rookie. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. After the interception, here's Griffin. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell, 76 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the third quarter's not been a whole lot of fun for him. A couple of interceptions thrown. He seems to be a different man here in the second half.
After the interception, here's Griffin. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And quickly, they get to the line. On third down, Griffin. And he finds Barnage. He's got it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Now Griffin on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Griffin will throw again. It's caught. It's Barnage over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On first and 10, it's Griffin. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a second down throw for Bradford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He won't go down. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
A well-executed screen pass means the offensive line has bluffed the defenders. They make them think that they can just get through and get to the quarterback. Instead, they're setting them up. Little screen pass, lofted over them, and now they're in front, and they get downfield for big yardage when they do it right.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now they go screen. It's complete. 20. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the... Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Bradford, and a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just dropped to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking, but you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Now Asiata. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Matt Asiata, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. 4th and goal, Charles, all the time you see those offenses, especially the quarterback, the running back, looking over the sideline saying, don't send the kicker out. There they did it, and it paid off.
It's really nice to see what they wanted actually done. And how about the coaches getting their faith rewarded by a touchdown?
So that drive in total 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. To throw is RG3. Screenplay, Johnson. There goes Duke Johnson. 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, 76 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front.
And there's the go-ahead touchdown. And so likely we'll kick an extra point. But to me, I'm looking forward. Special teams now with your kickoff, and then your defense, that's where the pressure shifts.
Yeah, because there's plenty of time left on that clock. Anytime you're over a minute in the NFL, there's a chance. He's got it. And they will not go quietly as we are back to a two-score game. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Oh, and did the Browns get it? I think so, yes. Well, they just scored, they got the lead, and they decided to keep their foot on the accelerator, so to speak.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. They had to have seen something in their preparation for this game that told them in this situation, if they get the look they like, let's go ahead and go for it anyway. They like being bold.
Now Johnson, 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Griffin going to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Pick. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Joe Schobert, the rookie. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. For them, it's not looking altogether promising here. They can only stop the clock 1 more time, and they have to pick when they use that 1 timeout.
And I think people, as you noted...
And, oh, we've seen it all now. It's a fake. And a cutback left. And he is not going to get the first, but remember, it was only 1st down, so a bit of an odd play, and it results in 2nd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. Well, there's 2 sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he takes us down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. Bradford to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.
Said tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown. Because we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. There's people here that I just met, but we're acting like we go back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is...
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They come out here in the eye. Here's the former 7th-round pick, Rashawn Jennings. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Justin Durant. Second down following the run. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Charles, let me ask you about this Dallas defense, because so much hype, obviously, and rightfully so about the offense. But this defense, they've held their own, have they not?
Indeed they have, and in a lot of cases, they've led the charge on defense, made plays, and let's face it, going into the season, we thought they might finish last in the league in defense. They had a lot of guys suspended. They spent a second-round pick on a defender that we all knew was not going to play this season in Jalen Smith, yet somehow they fashioned it together, led by Sean Lee, and become a cohesive unit that doesn't worry about who gets the credit and have had guys emerge and make plays that you didn't expect.
On now is Brad Wing to kick it away for the Giants. Lucky Whitehead back deep for Dallas. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And some room to maneuver. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it'll be 1st down Cowboys. And for Elliott, the Zeke train continues to roll, my friend. 97 more yards, 2 more touchdowns on Thanksgiving. That's number 10 and 11 now in the season.
And I think a lot of people are always looking at rookie players, especially running backs. Will they hit the so-called rookie wall? And Zeke Elliott is showing no signs of that wall being there. But I think it's because of the way they use him and the way he goes about his business. When he doesn't carry the football, he still carries out his play fakes. He still blocks. He does everything in addition to being able to catch the ball.
And if there's a wall, he ran through it. On 2nd down, Elliott. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Holding. Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. They'll toss it to Morris. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free. If you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you, and anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Giants are going to take over in great field position. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They run again with Jennings. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Brandon Carr there to make the stop. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder coming up at the intermission. We'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew. Now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there's a time to be aggressive. Now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seems a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Manning will try again on 2nd down. Drops it off in the flat to Jennings. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Another solid performance for OBJ in Week 12. 2 more touchdowns, 96 yards. So tough to cover.
And there's no way that I look down my nose at a 96-yard dag. But what we come to expect out of OBJ is well over 100 yards to go along with 2 touchdowns. To me, it just shows how efficient he is as a route runner. Doesn't have to be a big play. It can be intermediate, short plays. It doesn't matter. The way he competes for the ball is something else. And did you catch his touchdown celebrations this past Sunday?
I did.
Paying homage to a Cleveland icon.
It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. But still in search of the 1st down after that last completion.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like. And now so the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's able to get up here to the 26. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. And New York set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Manning going to throw. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, they knocked that one free from Eli Manning, and he's not a guy who's usually fumble-prone. Usually has a pretty good sense about getting rid of the football. But in this case, they managed to knock it out of his hands.
Yeah, stat to your point, I was looking back yesterday. 3 seasons of 10-plus fumbles, but other than that, single digits. He usually takes pretty good care of the ball. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. 1 man in the backfield, Elliott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. You seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that? It's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. All right, here we go. 3rd quarter action now. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all total. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think...
Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
Every now and then, those guys can get lost in coverage. Quarterback didn't see him, perhaps. But, boy, what a pick. And how about the run back?
And it's good to make it 14-0. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.